Like the TCG list, I always react to the OCG list. Now today, about 46 minutes ago, the OCG list just came out on their website, so let's take a look. This goes into effect on October 1st, and boy, first off we have the Forbidden. And that is already hefty. Agito and Kelbeck are now put down to 1. That hurts a lot of consistency for the tier limit strategy, but that is very huge. It looks like we have an Exceed and a Synchro next. They banned Chaos Ruler and Rongo. So it looks like that they're catching up to the TCG finally with these two cards. Now, if you guys don't know, Tier Element was still being heavily played in the OCG. Seeing Agito, Kelbeck, and Chaos Ruler all gone, that hurts the consistency of the deck, and that pretty much tells you Tier Element is 100% gone, and now is only going to be played in a few decks. Now, this is one of the things, hitting 4 cards is very big. That is definitely something. But seeing Chaos Ruler go finally, because every deck was playing a Chaos Ruler type engine just to make a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, was very, very powerful. Rongo is just there because of many reasons. They never hit it in the first place. It was a card that number of Veils played, and there was also a deck that was playing it as of recent, but kind of glad to see all these go, and we don't have to worry about them in Worlds anymore, especially the top 2 here. Next up are the limits. Tier limit Kashtira limited, so all of their tier limit names are limited, and Block Dragon limited. So this is just another full front hit for tier limit, because all their tier limit names for their main deck are limited, and Block Dragon being limited also hurts the Rockpile deck, which also just lost a lot of consistency because of these 3 main cards here. Kelbeck, Agito, and Chaos Ruler got Forbidden. That kind of sucks, and that looks like all the limits. Unless that there's more. Oh. Let me translate the page real quick. Are these still semi-limits? Oh, newly semi-limited cards. Rescue Ace Fire Attacker, is that? Let's go to the org article, because I don't know which one that is. That is Rescue Ace Airlifter. You have Pearly Delicious Memory and Rivalry of the Warlords. These are all going from 3 to 2, so OCG, they are hitting another floodgate. I actually like that. Then with Skill Drain at 1, they are now hitting Rivalry. So that is definitely interesting. And let's see the cards that are going off the list. We have Grisu, the Orcus Mech Knight, and Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, Dragonic Diagram and Floowandereeze, and the Magnificent Map. So Grisu is the only Orcus piece in the OCG that's currently limited, and they're probably bringing it back to full power because Orcus is doing all but nothing in the OCG. Well, that is a lie, because Horus Orcus is a deck, but it's not one of the prominent decks. It might be after this Forbidden and Limited list, but I am not going to be too sure about that. But seeing it get moved up on the list is very nice. Then you also have Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. This card has been at 1 for a while, and now it's being peeled off the list. I don't know how I feel about that, because they still have things like Electromite. But surely it should be fine. Draconic diagram going up from 1 to 2 is fine. It's probably hinting at support later, but we'll have to see on that. And Fluentries and Magnificent Map, this is a card that shouldn't really be hit since they hit other cards, but it should be fine. And now the cards going to 3. We have Armageddon Knight, Super Heavy Samurai Bike, Prank Kids Meow Meow Mew, and Trickstar Light Stage. So, in all honesty, Armageddon Knight going to 3 is fine because it is over time, it's a weaker normal summon, and Grisu just does the job better. Super Heavy Samurai Bike going down to up to 3 again is kind of awkward because you still have the Super Heavy Samurai engine in full, outside of having one Soul Piercer and no cards of the FTK variety. But that's very interesting. Meow Meow Mew to 3 is also interesting because we have it forbidden here. It's really, I think the only reason is because Wandering Griffin Rider is still there. And Trickstar Light Stage, this card has just been there, and now they've finally taken it off the list. Overall, they killed Tearlament. Tearlament wasn't even one of the best decks in the format, because if you look at their current format, if we head to Road of the King, you could see Rescue Ace has been one of the top decks for a while. They've ranged anywhere from 17% all the way up to 28%, and that's all because of the new Dibelstar engine. So that is definitely one thing to think of. Pearly getting a Delicious Memory to 2 is absolutely fine. They're still playable in the current state, and honestly that's going to be interesting to see how they play because they only lost another quick play spell, which is fine. Tearlament, this thing kind of got gutted. Cash Tier got hit down to 1. They lost both of the Ishizu Millers, and they lost Chaos Ruler. I don't think this deck is going to be playable anymore. It's just going to be played as a small engine in some decks, like Adamanticators maybe, but we'll have to see on that, because they also lost Chaos Ruler because that's one of the biggest cards in a lot of decks. Even Centaurian was running Chaos Ruler because it's just another way to get to a hand trap or get to your light Centaurian. So that kind of hurts the consistency of quite a bit of decks. Luckily, things like Fire King wasn't running it, but any deck that could opt into running your Chaos Ruler is one of the things that definitely hurts. But I want to know what you guys think about the OCG Forbidden Limited list, as I'm going to have the recap right here. This is a very good list, and I cannot wait to see what happens to their meta, because this means Tearlament is gone, and or Adamanticator Super Heavy Samurai is kind of hurt. Orcus gets a little power, Harley gets a little less power, but I think the top 3 decks for them, looking at it, is going to be Rescue Ace, Pearly, and Centaurian. Those are going to be the top 3 decks of their format. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy, and see you guys in the next video.